Hey, it's Jason from Pro Guitar Studio, and today we're taking a look at the relative major and relative minor pentatonic scales. Now, you may or may not know these shapes already. If you've started learning the pentatonic scale, odds are you know at least one of these. So let's dive right in and sort of take a look at what this exercise is going to do and what it's going to teach you. Okay, so if you've gone through and learned shape 1 and shape 2 of the minor pentatonic, you may already know sort of where this is coming from. But the whole concept here is that we'll say the minor pentatonic, if we're playing, let's say G sharp minor. So it starts on the 4th fret. Not the most common key, but just bear in mind it will line up with the exercise we're doing here. Let's say I'm going from the 4th fret, right? So I'm playing 4, 7, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 7, 4, 7. So this is the G sharp minor pentatonic shape 1. This is what usually you'll see as written as shape 1, with my index finger being the root note, right? So you can move that along anywhere. You could do like B minor with the same distances between the notes. And it ends up being the minor pentatonic, right? So this is usually the first shape, not everyone, but the first shape most players will learn just because it is the most common, right? It's the one you see most often. So that's the minor pentatonic. Now, the major pentatonic is often taught as something different, but it also connects. The way you can think about it is that it connects to these notes. So essentially, the minor pentatonic and the major pentatonic can be the same thing. And that's if we look at them in a relative fashion. So if we start, let's say our major pentatonic as a B major pentatonic, just to give you an example here, and we play up what people refer to as shape 1 of the major pentatonic. Now, I'm not going to get into right now why I think that is super confusing for a lot of people. I like to give these shapes one name. So I just call this first shape we learned before, just shape 1. I don't refer to a minor or major pentatonic, it's a pentatonic shape 1. And then over here on the second one, I just call it shape 2. You can give it your own name as well. You can call it whatever name you want to give it, just to make more sense to this, because it's confusing when you see someone calling, for example, they'll call this right here, this one I'm going to go into, they'll call that shape 2 of the minor pentatonic, but shape 1 of the major, because you'll see in a few minutes these are exactly the same things. So the first one here we learned G sharp minor pentatonic, that's our first shape. Okay, so the second shape we're going to learn is a B major pentatonic. Now the B major and G sharp minor are the exact same note names, right? The only difference is the chord implied in the background is a B major versus a G sharp minor. Now this could be a huge theory lesson, and I don't want to get too far into the theory behind it, but let's just look at the idea here is that the note names are the same between B major and G sharp minor. So what I'm trying to get you to do is be comfortable moving from the relative major and relative minor pentatonic over specific chords, or even just together in a piece of music. It can be anything for example, in G sharp minor, you can use both of these shapes. So the B major pentatonic starts on fret number 7 on string 6, and then 9, and then 6, 9, 6, 9, sorry, 6, 8, 7, 9, 7, 9. All right, so that's our B major pentatonic, otherwise referred to as shape 2 of the G sharp minor pentatonic. So the phrase I'm doing today, I'm going to go into a phrase that works through the whole shape of B major. And my whole goal here is to give you a phrase, not necessarily that was the most musical, but that fits within the full shape. So I'm using all the notes in that particular shape. Okay? So the whole progression I'm using here starts off with a B major. So my phrase starts off in the B major pentatonic. I'm going to play 8 on string number 3. And I'm going to play 7, 9 on the second string, and then 7 on the first string. I slide in as well. And then I'm going to play 9, 7 on the first string, 9 on the second string, to 7 on the first string. Slow it down even more. Then I'm going to play 9, 7 on the second string, to 8 on the third string. And then final 2 notes, 7, 9 on the B string. Then I'm going to run down after that from the 6th fret, string number 3. Sorry, 8th fret. 8, 6 on the G string, and then 9, 6 on the D string, 9, 6 on the A string, 9, 7 on the low E. And then I have a little pause. And then I do 7, 9, 7 on the E. Okay, so That's our first phrase. I know it's a lot to memorize, but if you're a student here, you do get access to the PDF that outlines all these notes. Okay, so go in your student account, check that out, and you can see what it's all about. So the next part here, when we go to the G sharp minor, because the next chord coming in is a G sharp minor. I do 2 measures of each, so these notes are pretty fast. But you can slow it down as slow as you need to. Then going to G sharp minor, we're going to play the same kind of rhythmic phrase or rhythmic theme, starting on the G sharp note. So fret number 6 of the 4th string, and I'm going to play 4, 6 on the 3rd string, 4, 7 on the B string. And then I'm going to play 4 on the B string, 6 on the G string, and then 4 on the B string. And I'm going to play 6, 4 on the G string to 6 on the D string. And finishing off with 4 to 6 on the G string. Then I'm going to play all the way down the scale. So just all the way down the G sharp minor pentatonic scale. Nothing too exciting here, but it's just a fast run. So it's all the same speed, except the very last note, okay? So that's 16th notes. And then this note actually is a little slower too. It's 8th note, 4th note. All right, so this part. So from the beginning. Second phrase. You'll notice all the way throughout this I'm alternate picking, but do whatever you can to get these notes in. Play it slowly. I'm just trying to give you something to work with that helps you connect these two ideas. Okay, so these two are relative. These two scale shapes are relative, which means they can both function as a B major pentatonic. They can both function as a G sharp minor pentatonic. So as you play with them, they'll work for both instances. But what I'm doing here is I'm playing the B major over the B chord and the G sharp minor over the G sharp minor chord, okay? So with this being said, if you have a loop pedal, loop those 2 chords and practice playing those scales on top. Or you can try to get a backing track that uses the 2. I'll see if I can put a link to a 4 measure backing track for both of those. So 4 measures on B, 4 measures on G sharp minor, just so you can play through each of those, okay? So it'll be in the links in the video description. And as you go through it, you just want to, if you're trying to improvise, for example, you want to make your phrases up with the B major pentatonic in mind over the B, and then the G sharp minor in mind over the G sharp minor. And the reason why that's useful is that you can see the chord tones a little more clearly. So down the road, it's easier to help understand how these things move around. Not that you always need to use this approach where we move the scale shapes with the chord, but it helps you sort of see the chord underneath the scale shapes. So you can see the B major and then see the notes from the scale. That helps out immensely. That helped my understanding when I first started looking at this stuff, trying to understand chord tones and arpeggios and how that all works, right? So you can visualize which notes will sound good. So try this out. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. There's a lot more we could get into here. I don't like to make it overdrawn out. So if you have questions, like I said, yeah, definitely ask. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe for more videos like this each week, and I'd love to hear from you.